Good afternoon, everyone. I request we all wait for a couple more minutes for everyone to join. Then, yeah, we can get started. Yeah. So I think we all can get started. Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to Swift Bangaluru's online meetup. This is the second online meetup we are having after lockdown, and the thought of having online meetup came up because during any festive seasons, we are sure, like, since we have work from home, most of us travel to our natives to celebrate festival with families. So in such situations, we thought, nobody should miss upon the events, and that is the main thing. And second one, and we also wanted to maintain consistency in organizing these meetups. So here we are with our second online meetup, and the last one, I think, we had it during Deepavali, and this time it is for Holi. So wishing you all a very happy Holi in advance. And yeah, without wasting much time, I think we can quickly look into the agenda for today's session. Yeah, so today we have two very interesting sessions coming up. One is on what's new in Xcode 15 by Keshav Kishore, and the next one is how to ace an iOS interview. So both the sessions are of 45 minutes, and after both the sessions, we will have breakout rooms, and then we'll have the closing remarks around 4:20. So we are like very curiously waiting for both the sessions, and it's going to be very interesting. So without much delay, I would like to invite Keshav Kishore for our first session, which is on what's new in Xcode 15.
Thank you, Kitty, and thank you, Nayan, for this session and giving me the opportunity to be a speaker over here. Uh, yes, so today's session we are going to discuss about what's new in Xcode 15, and it's been, I think, going to be a good one, I think, session. So let me share my screen and then we can start. I think, can you give me the permission to share a screen? Is it like, I think it's disabled.
Oh, yes, Keshav, just a moment.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Keshav, can you please try it now if you're able to share the screen?
Yes, Kitty. I think, is my screen visible? Is it?
Yes, Keshav. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Just, all right. So today we going to see the Xcode 15 features that we can use and that we are using in our daily development purpose and how it can be helpful. Um, Although we know that Swift UI is a main framework nowadays for developing the UI for iOS and macOS, but many of the companies and organizations are still relying on UIKit for developing uh, the UI. And, uh, So we will just look into some basic codes of how we can use these Xcode 15 preview feature, the macro that came up last year, to have a preview feature in UIKit, and some others, which is basically code completion, quick action, and uh, performance, that we are not going to going deep into the performance, but yes, regarding the preview and code completion and quick action and logging. So these would be our main agenda for this session, and we will be doing it from very scratch. So let's start a project, and we're going to have it. So let's delete the storyboard. We are going to develop everything from programming, a programmatic approach. This over here. So we're going to use our own view controller that came with the template. Why can I have a simulator on this desktop? A minute. Hmm. Oh, right. Yeah, we have issue. We cannot see our screen. Let's figure out what's going on. Hmm. View controller,
I think
scene delegate. Yep.
we need to add window make key and visible for our window.
That's right. That's right. Perfect. Thank you very much. So window that make key invisible. I think we don't have to this here, right? Yeah, that's right. Perfect. Thank you. I think we can use this. Mhm. Perfect. So we have sorted our programmatic approach without using storyboard is working fine. We are going to view controller. Let's remove this. We don't need it, or we can change this to system bank background just in case we are going to use our dark mode or anything. We can use our user. Oh, okay. Before doing that, let's have our preview setup first. So we know that in uh, in Swift UI, we have to use struct preview, and that is helping us with the preview over here. But from 6 iOS Xcode 15, we don't have to use that. Preview macro will do the job. As you can see on the right hand side, we are having our canvas open. So we can create our view scene just since it's a normal programmatic view controller. We don't have to use the nib or any kind of thing. We just return that view scene. Perfect. And it is loading the canvas. By the time, what we can do, we can create our UI. I am thinking of creating a normal to text field with button. So let's put it in a stack view. By default, it's, I think, horizontal. So since we want vertical, it gives its vertical. And since we gonna have this to be constraint set, we should do that as a translate auto resizing masks fonts as well. All right. Why this canvas is not over here? All right, no problem. By the time we are going to be have, we can say that view dot add subview, that is stack view. And yeah, all right. Now what we can do is we can give a constraint to it. So let the stack view to be in the middle of the view. Center x anchor constraint equal to constant, maybe. Yeah, that's right. Constraint equal to constant. Give it to the view center x. That's right. Let's delete this constant since this is going to be 0. We don't need this. Let's make it active. So x is set. Let's make it to the center of the y. Perfect. Right. Nice. We don't need this as of now. Right. Our stack view sorted. Let's add the elements in the stack view. Right. So what we need is, let's go with the two different text field. We can cover this holder. All right, stack view is there. Go for it. Let's add those first name and last name. There's a typo, it has to be camel case. Let's correct it. Mhm. Let's add all the items in the stack view. What is happening with our correct? So we can see those on the preview on the right hand side. We are having those two stack view. If we are changing anything on the very so we are seeing that it is updating the value at a very quick time, right? So this is not earlier we used to have with our UI kit, but it was there with the Swift UI. But the help of Xcode 15, we can see that we are having updating value very quick time. It was not before. And we forgot to add a button. So let's add a button also. So since we have to add this also. Perfect. So as we are progressing in our keep on adding the UI elements to our view or view controller, we are seeing on the right hand side that it's keep on updating on the real time. I think that's the very quick, I think, uh, update that we can see, other than we have to keep running on our simulator or on real device to see exactly what is happening. So this is one of the best feature that came up with Xcode 15. Another one which is I'm going to show is auto completion. That is also very quick. Let's example, if we have any class, we want to add any manager, for example, right? Create network manager. Let's have a class. Boom. So this is basically, it doesn't know where this network manager was, but now it's know the moment we created the file, it knows like from our first two keywords that, okay, this is going to be a possible key class name that we are going to type. So this auto completion also makes our development faster. Another one is a quick action that we don't have to go to, for example, change the theme, or we can go and then look for over here in editor or canvas that where it is. We can quickly do it from our quick action, command shift A, and change the theme. Maybe right now I think on dark. Let's go for the basic. Boom. Go back to again dark, classic dark, default dark, whatever is we want, we can go back to over there. We don't have to be like canvas. We can open from the canvas over here. Boom. White. White. Anyway, so yeah, this is basically one of the feature that is Xcode 15 came up with, quick actions. Another one is with our logging. We can have a sorted logging also. So in one of the previous companies library where I was working on, they were using multiple libraries and we had to write a wrapper on top of it. So every time we are writing a wrapper on multiple libraries, we were having a difficult time to know when we are debugging the entire library that from which part of code we are having a print function called from. So we can use a print function over here. Maybe uh, when we are tapping a button, for example, submit button can have a print function. Let's add a button dot add target first. Yes. So if we just have this print statement, which is basically uh, uh, it's hard to debug if we are using it everywhere in our application, just a print, and then we have to keep on using that keyword that we are using in the print statement to search in our console to see from where this is getting printed. We can use OS log feature of it, and this OS log import will help us and make our logs sorted, and it will make our life easy when debugging uh, with our project. And when we are working with a very large code base and having multiple components, or we can say uh, libraries which other teams have developed for us. So to do that, we can use it with Logger, and Logger uses two properties, that is subsystem and categories. Generally, these are basically any string file that we can use, and we can put anything, but it's recommended that we should put our bundle identifier. So let's go and get our bundle identifier first. And we should have this class name over here to identify it proper. And rather than printing this as a print, what we can use is so we are getting different types of functions on method basically that we can use a debug error log, and we can segregate that on base of what this log is about. So if we are just debugging it, we can use debug message and then just put our message in a string file over here. And we can see it on our simulator. That this print is having a different line, and we can use it as what it is coming from. We can see that which classes this file is, this particular string is getting printed from, and from which module, or we can say it's getting coming from that bundle identifier. We can also use the timestamp. We can also use the process ID. So, and if we are having like, we can sort it with our error message, we can sort it with our info. So boom. So if we want to sort it with the debug, we can just have a filter that will just do the debug part. If you want the filter to be just error messages, we can put it with the error messages. And this will be very easy to do with the debugging, other than we just have to, if in our old approach, we can just, what we would do generally is use print statement and try to find out in the hundreds and thousands of lines of code that we get in our console to where it exactly it is. And then we have to track it down that, okay, where it is getting printed like this. And we know that there's no new line, there is no segregation. We cannot have from which module it is getting printed or some sort of like that. So this makes our development and our life easy when you're working with Xcode 15. Thank you all for listening. Do you have any questions? Please ask me out.
Sure. That, one question from
Oh
my
yeah,
side.
please.
Say we are using OS Logger, right? That give us some nice segregation.
That's right.
The same thing that we can filter it out also. Obviously, that is an explicit thing that we are using. So obviously, that will give an edge. But
Mhm.
the same thing, if we use a self with has column, has function name, right? That will also give you the same thing, right?
Okay,
That
so
give you
let's.
more custom thing, which I mean more custom things that you can log with. If you go with the
Okay.
logger, you will see many libraries have implemented this
Mm-hmm.
way. Write a
Mm-hmm.
logger with the self, right? Say self. Then it will give
Mm-hmm.
you like which controller it is. Now you want it like which line, which column. Then you can say which column has column as
Mm-hmm.
line. That give you a more concrete way where you can look into it. You can do further regex and other things also by
Mm-hmm.
doing some classification that is not possible with this OS logging. So my
Okay.
question is,
Mm-hmm.
uh, in what scenario I will be using OS logger, and in what scenario I will be using this print or debug logger?
I see. So generally, when we are basically releasing our library, we don't know like the mode that we are using. I think I have to look into the value that you have input that we can use that print with the self and that will log the function column and everything. Generally, that we use this logger is when we are debugging the things in a debug mode, or when we want the logs to be printing on the console when it is in the release mode. The log that is printing is about info or error. So whenever we are basically giving our binaries to other team to develop something on top of that, or maybe to other customers, depending on our business and use case, we want to have the log. We don't want to print everything. So we can segregate that with basically debug, release, error, info, and the desired team can get the information out of it. Generally, that's where I use the logger.
Okay. And one more follow-up question. Suppose I do some sort of writing unit test case and another thing. Okay. And
Right.
that got reflected in the logs here. Let me annotate it. You will see this one area, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So you'll see this will give you a good idea of what are the loggings here.
Hmm.
And the same thing, if we run on device, right?
Hmm.
That we will also get those things logs there also, console logs. So that will also help us in giving whether it is multiple libraries or giving customer that we also get.
I'm
In
sorry. Can you repeat the question? I did not get that.
my point was these logs, the logs which is being generated in that area when we do the test cases, how it
Mhm.
differ from this OS logging.
I'm sorry. You are talking about this console area, right? This
Yeah,
console area. Okay. And it is printing when we are just having in our production code, or we can say that it's a development mode. And you want to write a test case, unit test case, or any test want to write, and you want to see that that log is different from the production code. Is it what you are trying to say?
kind of.
Okay. Okay. I don't have the answer for that. I'm so sorry, but yeah, it's a good insight. I myself did not have tried that.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions, please?
Hey, Keshav.
Hi.
First of all, like thanks for this knowledgeable insight. But I have like couples of doubt regarding this. So,
Sure.
is it available in 15 only? I think before that also as logo are available.
I think preview was not available before Expert
Oh,
15.
yes.
Uh, it was with Swift UI, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. First, and what my main question is, I want to use this OS log for my logging purpose. Like what my intention was, rather
Mhm.
than have any logger or third party logger. I
Okay.
want to save those logs into like document directory or somewhere else. But the main problem where I see this is uh, I was not able to filtering out first and the encryption. So do you have any insights like I want to save those logs on in an encrypted manner? So do you have any thoughts there?
I don't
And
have thoughts over there, but yeah,
and
please go ahead.
one more issue I faced there is I was not getting all the logs.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I have to again move a custom logger where what I was doing is just I get the logs and I'm writing to logs into a text file or a logs file. But I
Mhm.
want to use this os.log, but I have to drop that idea because I'm not getting the every statement which I want to log. So do you have any thoughts there? How I can approach so I can use os log, or it's just for console log or debugging purpose?
So basically, your question is like, you want to basically print all the logs in a text file and you want it to be encrypted, right?
Yeah, correct. This was my original ask, and for this
Yeah.
ask, I want to use OS log, but I couldn't do because of encryption and all the logs are not available. How I'm accessing that. So because of that, I have to drop that idea. So do you have any insight there? Can I use OS log there, or it's just only for debugging?
This is basically for actually, so first of all, I never had this scenario where I just want to have a log in a document file.
Mm.
So I don't have idea about it, but as you can do it from any other log, I think this is possible from this OS log also. However, the question that the thing that you are asking in the question is you are not getting all the logs. So
Ah,
I'm pretty much curious about why that was happening, that you are not getting all the logs. It is because of it was like as you know, like we cannot it's at the same time we are printing many logs and it was not getting the log printed, right? Could be because of that, I don't know. But to be honest, I haven't get that particular scenario, but I think if it is possible with other particular custom logs, it is possible with the OS log, that I believe, but it's my belief. I've never implemented my first hand. So
okay.
did you can you okay, no problem.
Yeah, okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I thought like I will give it a try, and
First,
later I can I can approach you, and then we can discuss
uh,
it. Like, okay, it's
sure.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah. And how I'm checking that log is from activity monitor,
Okay.
not from the Xcode console.
Okay.
Right? Within the activity control, I have all the process which is going on in my system, and
Okay.
from there I want to with this identifier,
Hmm.
whatever identifier you give for this app, bundle
Yeah.
identifier, with that identifier, I want to track those logs from OS. So there I see that problem, not on the console.
Hmm.
Console all the logs were there, but within that activity monitor, if
Hmm.
I search with that this bundle identifier or the
Right.
category,
Right.
there I was missing some logs. So
Okay.
that's why I have to drop that idea.
Understood. So if we have to sum up your question, it is like we are having multiple, basically, is it, correct me if I'm wrong, do you have multiple libraries that are communicating with each other and it is in your project and that's why you want to have the different logs for different bundle identifier? Is it what?
No. Bundle identifier is only same.
All right, I see. So basically you were using, you want to print and you were using that print statement in activity monitor to get the logs over there. And the
Yes.
console, it was printing perfectly, but on the activity monitor, it was not.
Yeah. So here if you see you have five, hey it's printing. So it
Correct.
could be like that says you have five methods, first method first, second, third, fourth,
Mhm,
fifth. But if
mhm.
I go here, you find all the one to five. But when I was going to activity monitor, I
Mhm.
didn't find that sequence properly. Okay, one, two, three, and four.
Ah, okay.
So yeah.
So it's not about missing the log, but the sequence was the problem.
No, missing was
Okay.
because I
Oh,
didn't find the third one.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Thank
Mm.
you for this question. Yeah, we will look into it and I will definitely get
Absolutely.
back to you if I find anything. Yeah, thank you for
Yes.
that.
Thanks a lot.
Any other questions, please?
That's all from my side. Yes, sir.
Okay. If there is no other questions, I think can I can uh finish my talk maybe. So thank you all for listening up, and Uh, it was great talking to and speaking over here. This is my first talk with SIF Bengaluru. It was nice. And just yeah, it's 2024 and looking forward to Xcode 16, what they have for us. My name is Keshav Kishore and my LinkedIn is over here. If you guys want to connect with me on there, please feel free to connect. Thank you. Thank you, Nayan. Thank you, Kirti. I think yeah, it's done from my part. Stopping my screen share.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, Keshav, for such a insightful session. So Keshav is actually working as a senior iOS engineer in NEC Corporation India Private Limited.
Oh, Kirti,
Thank you for the
just to
session.
interrupt, I actually left NEC Corporation. Sorry, my bad. I haven't given the proper introductions. I'm working
Oh,
with the
okay.
company Rakuten over here now. Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah, I
Okay,
haven't
okay, no
completed
worries.
my. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thanks, Keshav. Yeah. So, moving on to our second session. Um, so our next session is by Deepak Tiwari. So he's currently working as a senior software engineer at Walmart Global Technologies. And I think all of us are eagerly looking forward for this session. So I would like to welcome Deepak. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Kirti. Thanks, man. Like, good afternoon, everyone. Just give me- So today's session is more about DSA and system design. Basically, these are the two things, like, for cracking the interviews. These two things plays a major role. And most of us, like, because we won't find the exact contents, like regarding iOS things online, right? Like most of the times we'll get contents like for backend or uh, front-end oriented system designs, right? So, like for example, load balancer, horizontal scaling, vertical scaling alone. So that is the key challenge here. So that's why uh, I just want to share some views on that. So let me share my screen. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, we'll be focusing on how to basically handle the data structure, importance of understanding both high level and low level system design, and that is the basically main uh, point of understanding here. So we'll start with data structures. So the foundation of all the technical interviews, including iOS, Android, like whatever technology, right? So the profound understanding of data structures and algorithms is very important. And one thing, like I must say, like understanding the theory part, because we mostly, will leave the theory part and we'll jump directly towards solving the questions, and we'll have some set of questions and we'll solve that and we'll clear the interviews. But what I believe, that is not a good way of handling the things, because later on it will come. Someday it will, like, some questions will be there. If we solve in a particular way and in a nice track, so that will be very helpful for us. So understanding the theory is very important. Like all the data structures starting from string, arrays, linked list, stack, queue, tree, and we have to grasp the inner working, like how it works internally, what and all operations we can perform, and the real world applications, like real world where and all we can apply. Because if you understand the theory part, okay, so sometimes what happens, like the questions are not straightforward. Sometimes the questions will be like, real world questions. Something is going on, something is working on, like these kind of questions will be there. So in that case, if you understand the data structures, like internal things, how it works internally, so that is very important. Because first thing is analyzing the questions, right? So once we understand the question and the inner working, like how it works internally, the data structure, so we can come up with the particular data structures, what and all we can use for solving that particular problem. And algorithms also plays a major role in that. So data structures are basically what and all data structures we'll use for that solve for that particular problem. And algorithm is basically like how we'll do that, how we'll achieve that. So that is also one of the major part of solving a particular problem. And for that also we need to understand like how it works internally, what and all things will be there, what and all edge cases will be there, how it performs, the performance wise. So that and all we have to think. And one more thing, like I would say, like while data structure, system design, and everything, our behavior, our approach, our attitude, that also matters. Because sometimes what happens, like uh, our attitude sometimes is like, like we'll solve the particular problem and then we give up. Yes, now like that attitude should like it should be always positive. So that will come when we have a profound understanding of the internal things, right? So that is one of the key player here. And once